bashers are con artists. If you are scared of the word cult or react to the word cult, I'm going to ask you that you listen and study this interview. We understand that critical reasoning is not your strength and that you are dominated by fear. That is why a simple word can make you make decisions without doing proper investigations. So, you're going to find a fascinating thing, that those that use cult bashing in many cases will use it as part of their marketing strategy. They understand that the human, most of them, are essentially motivated by fear. So all they have to find is the fear point they can use as a motivation to get people to eventually part with their money and look at the cult basher as some strong person, while the cult basher is only actually a bully, somebody that prey on people's fears and that deliberately seek out the way to con the person into supporting a point of view where there is no critical reasoning and there is no investigation. For instance, Destiny is based on the principle that one must investigate all things and keep that which is good. That is also the principles that Jesus promoted, but unfortunately Christianity became a cult by preying on people's fears, and so all critical reasoning is lost to a Christian, because they will have some fairy tale stuff which somehow magically must transcend fear, instead of investigating what is in this world, how the human coexist, and establishing a system that is best for all by keeping that which is good. Because after all, any Christian or any person that is a mother or a father would like to have what is best for their children. Within that, you have to investigate what will ensure what is best for your children. And what is best for your children is going to be a world system that looks after every child, because if you are a mother or a father that are born in a condition of poverty and lack, you understand what it means when you can't give to your children what is best. And therefore such a condition is unacceptable. And the fact that one has got money or are born into a culture or a country where you have money and you can give to your child what is best, do not absolve you from the responsibility to ensure that the same point is available for every parent everywhere in this world. Because after all, if that is not so, you are not living by Christian principles, for instance. Now, if you are Jewish, for instance, whether Jesus said this or whether Abraham said, investigate all things and keep what is good, really makes no difference, because both, according to the basic principles of integrity and from the perspective of honoring life and the gift of life that is given to each on a planet that provides to each one all that is needed for free, means that if you have some guru or master or great person that in some way forms and shapes what you believe, then at least that belief should not be based on a lie like fear, because fear in essence is a lie, because you create it in your own mind. If you investigate the principles of the physical world, you'll notice a very simple thing. Everything is interconnected and therefore one. All things that are connected through relationships. If these relationships that is connecting is not giving you the result that is best equally for all, there's a problem in the design of the relationships, and it must be investigated because it is not what is best, and therefore you should not be keeping it. If you are keeping it, it is in the name of your own self-interest, and self-interest is always based on fear because you're running away from what you perceive to be dangerous, which indicate a weak character because you're unable to face anything and investigate it. Weak characteristics, thus, is always shown through the ignorance of fear, where one is ignoring the facts, the relationships that form particular results, and one simply follow whomsoever can give you the greatest feeling of fear, like, for instance, a cult basher like Rick Ross, which would specifically target parents and get them to fall into the trap of great fear because apparently their children is under great threat, without the parent actually investigating the actual context of what is best for all within the basic message of Jesus. If you do that, you will realize the interesting thing, that what is being represented by Destiny and Equal Money represents the actual practical living of the Jesus message. Give as you would like to receive. Do unto another as you would like to be done unto. Investigate all things and keep that which is good. So from that perspective, those three fundamental points make Destiny, from a perspective of integrity, one of the most sane organizations the world has ever seen, because we are actually developing the critical thinking of each person that participate, and they do that in a practical, open way by writing in their own name, not anonymous, because to be anonymous is to be full of fear and to be part of some form of conspiracy and not investigating what is best in this world. But at Destiny you will actually commit yourself in writing so that you can make sure you are investigating what is here for real, and you are keeping that which is good. And by keeping that which is good, you become a good person, a better person, something you would like everyone to be, because that would produce a world of peace and harmony. Now, there are people that try and benefit from cult bashing. You have, for instance, this one chap which is into spirituality, which is now supposedly to be something that is based on honoring others' choice and all kinds of things. Obviously, free choice only exists so that you can actually apply the principle of investigating all things and keep what is good. So there's this one chap, his handle is apeshit, it sounds like apeshit. So, if you look at how he attacks, they will use words like pathetic. Pathetic is really the word of path ethics. If you look at the path ethics of Destiny, it is do unto another what you would want them to do unto yourself. Give as you would like to receive, and investigate all things and keep which is good, which is the principles of critical reasoning. It is the principles that will produce a world that is best for all. If one go and follow a bully and you do not investigate, what does it make you? Obviously, first of all, ignorant, because you are ignoring your own ability to develop critical thinking skills. We do understand that schooling and religion and consumerism and the basic family construct do not develop critical thinking, but actually use fear to develop children into adults of fear, which live in petrification, following a system that is not what is best for all life. We understand that. We understand the temptation to fall into fear and to just, because these con artists present themselves as confident, because, that is the whole thing about a con artist. They are confidence con artists. They use confidence cons. They present themselves as confident. And then they make statements in so much confidence that you believe it, instead of actually investigating what is being said. From a Destiny perspective, for instance, we are deliberately presenting the message in such a way that you cannot gain confidence from what we are saying. You have to investigate. If you listen to how I present, for instance, information, I changed my voice deliberately to make sure that I am not presenting any form of confidence to you, but that I implore you to investigate all things and keep that which is good. That is scientific, that is measurable, and that is based on the messages of some of the greatest beings that has ever been on earth, that has presented this for thousands of years, but yet the human being is yet to realize the most simplistic things. This world is the direct result of everything you do and participate in. It is the direct result of the relationships you keep. And if these relationships, which they obviously are, not what is best for everyone, you're going to have a society of inequality. And fascinatingly enough, that is being promoted by virtually every human on earth, a society of inequality, while fear is used as the motivator. But everybody claims at some level that they are apparently beings of love. That is impossible. You cannot be a being of love if you do not live the basic principles of that which is best for all life, if you are not a critical thinker. So, if one look at atheism, for instance, it's a fascinating thing. Atheists discard the message of Jesus. You can't do that because atheism is the practical living of the message of Jesus, which is the message of investigate all things and keep which is good, which is the message of science, which is the message of mathematics. So, if you fall for the word, you see, word and world is the same thing. If you fall for the word cult, and you do not investigate, in fact, all things, you're the one that's ignorant, and you're the one that is in fear, and you're the one that's being allowing yourself to be conned by con artists that will benefit from you in some way. That is the whole point of politics. Politics is a con. Everyone knows that. Yet, you participate in it. Instead of developing a policy, a political agenda that is based on the basic message that is best for our life, which is investigate all things and keep that which is good, make it practical, give as you would like to receive. You know, the basic thing that will make you a humane, honest person. Why don't you live it? Investigate it. You'll find why is because you live in fear and you don't have critical reasoning skills. You have not, in fact, achieved any form of awareness. You'll have oaks like apeshit that claims they are aware. How can they be aware? Because they do not confront the destiny message on merit. They use words to try and invoke fear in their followers because their whole life is dependent on followers that fear. We are not interested in followers that fear. If you are in fear, we will remove you from the group because you are not ready to face the importance of self-responsibility. You are not ready to face the importance of becoming somebody that is in fact aware and able to live the simplicity of a message like investigate all things and keep that which is good. It is suggested that if you have any message that specifically would give impetus and importance to fear without giving an actual practical living solution, you can teach to your child and to all children so that we can have a world that is best for all. One should move away from that immediately. You must investigate what you believe in. Is that in fact going to scientifically, mathematically, through the relationships you participate in, through the way you spend your money, through the way you do your things, is that going to produce a world that's better? Or is this taking us to World War III? the situation is getting out of hand. Our economic system is failing because no one, even at the most educated top of this pyramid of abuse, understand or apply the most basic principles of doing what is best for all, making sure that what the planet is giving for free is distributed equally to all. I mean, that is economics. It's an ecosystem of equality. That is what an economist should be doing. Taking the resources that is presented for free on this world and distribute it free to everyone. Because the part the human plays in all of this is as the labor, as the support of the system, making the system function more effectively here on earth for everyone, including plants and animals, not keeping everybody in control through entertainment, mind control. I mean, that is really what is happening. If you're thinking and you do not know how you have practically actually create the thought in the quantum mind and in the quantum physical, you are ignorant. You are following something that you don't understand. It should not be done. You have not investigated yourself. You don't understand the practical implication of the words, man, know thyself. Investigate how a child eventually become able to think. Is that a valid process? Is the parent educated and trained to provide for the child an example that will produce a child that will be able to live in peace and harmony and without fear? No, not a single parent is educated or trained ever. Just the fact that you can have sex and have a child seems to be enough to suddenly give the parent the right of adult, the right of parent, the right over a child's life. The level of ignorance is astounding, simply because the level of fear is astounding. Now, make sure, if you find a cult basher, get away from them. They are confidence tricksters. They're going to con you. They are using your fear, and they will play on your fear, and they will cause you to not develop your own abilities, your critical reasoning skills. You need to be able to assess basic mathematics. You must be able to read. You must not be influenced by information that cause you to be controlled by your feelings or emotions, because you have no clue where feelings or emotions come from yet. We have all the research if you are willing to study and enhance yourself and become a better human being. Please read the Journey to Life blogs, because you will find it astounding to see how people can actually change themselves. Study the equal money system, because it assists in overcoming some of the fears you have about not having money. You've been controlled by money for so long that unfortunately we cannot move to a system of redistribution effectively without first having to deal with all the fears around money. So equal money, deal with all your fears about money. It removes all your debt. You're still going to have a house. You're going to have everything you've ever dreamt of, more than you've ever had before in an equal money system. It is giving as you would like to receive, practically. It is doing unto another as you would like to be done unto. It is investigate all things and keep that which is good, that which is best. That's the principles of an equal money system. No one in this world, unless they are willing to con others by using fear and bullying them through fear, can find a mistake or anything invalid about the fundamental point of both Destiny and Equal Money. If you in any way come up with any form of abuse towards Destiny or Equal Money, we are not the ones that are in fact the abuser. We are the ones that's here to bring an end to abuse. Why don't you want to be part of that? That is the question you must ask yourself. Why do you want to keep on abusing life? That is unacceptable, and we will be in your face till you forgive yourself and become self-honest and become fundamentally based in your life on the same principles we stand by. Because we are not saying what the particular outcome must be, because it is a mathematical, scientific fact. You investigate all things and keep which is good, which is best for all. That's not a debate. That's an investigation that is based on a practical reality, not on a mind projection of fear. Join us. It'll change your life. Motivated by fear, so all they have to find is the fear point they can use as a motivation to get people to eventually part with their money and look at the cult basher as some strong person, while the cult basher is only actually a bully, somebody that prey on people's fears and that deliberately seek out the way to con the person into supporting a point of view where there is no critical reasoning and there is no investigation. For instance, destiny is based on the principle that one must investigate all things and keep that which is good. That is also the principles that Jesus promoted, but unfortunately Christianity became a cult by preying on people's fears, and so all critical reasoning is lost to a Christian, because they will have some fairy tale stuff which somehow magically must transcend fear, instead of investigating what is in this world, how the human coexist, and establishing a system that is best for all by keeping that which is good. Because after all, any Christian or any person that is a mother or a father would like to have what is best for their children. Within that, you have to investigate what will ensure what is best for your children. And what is best for your children is going to be a world system that looks after every child, because if you are a mother or a father that are born in a condition of poverty and lack, you understand what it means when you can't give to your end, that critical reasoning is not your strength and that you are dominated by fear. That is why a simple word can make you make decisions without doing proper investigations. So, you're going to find a fascinating thing, that those that use cult bashing in many cases will use it as part of their marketing strategy. They understand that the human, most of them, are essentially cult bashers are con artists. If you are scared of the word cult or react to the word cult, I'm going to ask you that you listen and study this interview. We understand